Hello, everyone. This is Christine, and you are listening to the Filipina Life Abroad podcast, wherein we tell stories, experiences, or anything else we encounter as Filipinos or Filipinas living outside the Philippines. Stay tuned. Our guest for today is a Filipino designer who made the decision to move to Denmark to build a better future, not just for himself, but also for his family. We'll be doing this interview in English because my guest is comfortable in speaking English than Tagalog. And today we are going to talk about his journey, his struggles, and what it takes to relocate and build a family abroad. So let's all welcome Lee Magpili. Hello, Lee Magpili, right? Is that correct? Did I
Yes,
pronounce
that's correct. Yeah.
your name correct? Hi, Lee.
Hi, Christine.
Can you please introduce yourself to our listeners? Where are you in Denmark, and do you have your family here now? And yeah.
Yep. Hi, I'm Lee Magpili, currently working for a small toy company here in Billund, Denmark. I live in Grinstead with my family, my wife and two kids. Um, I've been here for 15 years now, just close to it.
Oh,
Um, I was born in Baguio City, but I was raised in New York, so my Tagalog is every here, there, and everywhere, and it's just I'm not as fluent as I'd like to be, but
mm,
we are where we are.
yeah, exactly. But can you
Yes.
speak Danish now, Lee?
No, I can speak Danish.
No.
I
Have you
did I
been?
did I did pass enough Danish to get my permanent residence here though. So I can
Yeah.
get by, I can order food, I know my way around the supermarket. And
Yeah. Okay. So
uh,
you're living in Grinstall. Where's that in Denmark? Is it the northern part or western part? Do you know the geography?
it's it's just about center. It's 15 kilometers west of Billund, which is oh geez, we're in the part of Denmark that's as far away from the coast as possible.
Yeah.
So it's about 30 kilometers from coast in every direction in the middle of Jutland.
Okay. So
Um,
that's not actually on the part
yeah.
where it's in the capital.
No,
No.
no, the capital,
Okay.
we're about 250 kilometers from Copenhagen.
Mm-hmm. You
Yes.
said earlier that you are working in a toy company. What company are you
I
currently working in?
work for the Lego Group. I'm a senior
Oh,
designer there. I've been there for 15 years, so that's the
wow.
reason I moved here is for the company, and
Mm-hmm.
uh, I make I make toys for a living.
Nice. But
Yeah,
you are
it's really cool.
you're a Filipino. Your passport is Filipino or you are American citizen? How is it?
I'm an American citizen by naturalization with my mom.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, I was born in Baguio City. I identify as Filipino, Filipino American when I can.
Mm.
I think it's a big part of like our culture and something I'm really proud of, no matter
Mm.
what. Uh,
Have you been living in Philippines when you were small or did,
yes, I was born there. I lived there
mm,
until I was 5.
okay.
I think, and then we went back periodically since then, like once every 5 years. And I think now I've been home at least every other year since I've been in Denmark, if not more.
Okay. So
So probably,
almost your entire life is actually in the US and not in the Philippines.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Probably now I'm a third of my life now here in Denmark.
Yeah, so you can
So
only
so
speak a little Tagalog, which
so
is
little Tagalog,
otot
yeah.
maybe.
I think no, a little more than that. I think back then the culture is like to hide your Filipino-ness and to like not go to school for it and then like speak English and
Mm,
get good in English so that people don't mistake you for something else.
mhm,
Um, and it's been a big part of the whole identity crisis of being Filipino,
mhm,
especially back then in the 80s and the 90s, where now people are more proud of it. People are more like, oh, let's take Tagalog classes. Let's like I want to send my kids to Filipino. I want to make sure they know
mhm,
it more than I do when they grow up.
mhm,
And like learning about Filipino culture through through food, through dance, through
Karaoke.
movies, karaoke,
Yes, of course.
OPM, and like
Yeah.
following Parokya and Edgar since they were
Okay.
young. So I mean, there's a lot about that. Um,
Mm-hmm. But you said also earlier that your first family, I mean your wife and your kids, they living here in Denmark as well. Is she Filipina or is she also from somewhere else here in Denmark? Can you please tell more about your first family?
my family here is we're all Filipino. My
Mm,
wife is Filipina, but we met
mm,
here in Aarhus actually through
okay.
a mutual friend, and we got together, and so we have two. We have one Filipino-born daughter, so she was
Mm-hmm.
born back home. She wanted to be home with her family uh, when she was born, when the first was born, and then my son was born here in Koling. Um,
Okay. So he's Danish. Is
this
it
he's
automatically Danish
no,
or
it's
how?
it's
Mm,
the Danes don't automatically give
mm,
passports to non-Danes, so you have to pick a citizenship. They are
mm,
both right now Philippine American citizens,
mm-hmm,
with the hopes for Philippine
mm-hmm.
dual citizenship in the future. We just haven't done it yet. I need to do the same actually,
Okay.
so we can make it easier to go home.
Okay.
Um, my wife is the only one not holding an American passport, but
Yeah.
we're
She's
we're she has a visa for for the U.S.
okay. Okay.
and it should be easy for us to go back and forth.
So it's way totally a lot of different cultures, American culture,
Yes,
Filipino, and then
the
Danish
Danish
culture.
culture. Yeah,
So you
yeah.
don't even feel homesick when if you're away, even if you're away in Philippines for long. So you don't feel homesick there. How is it?
I mean, I miss things at home. I miss things
Mm,
in Philippines. I miss things in New York. I have friends in
mm-hmm,
New York.
mm,
I have a lot. I still have most of the family back home in the Philippines.
mm,
My wife's family is home in the
mm-hmm,
Philippines, so her entire family is there. So
mm-hmm.
she's the one who went abroad
Okay.
and lived her life here and
Yeah.
came back. So the cultures are different, and of course, home is here for me now. I mean,
Of
I bought a
course.
house. I bought a house here. I bought
Mm-hmm,
uh like I've lived this part of my life here, my adult life here. So
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
we're
Okay.
we love home. We love being home in the Philippines. We love
Mm-hmm,
being in New York
mm-hmm,
when we can be in New York, and we like being home here. So everything is like it's nice to have the different cultures that
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. That's
we're all part of.
That's nice. That's so interesting because so that means you didn't even experience culture shock. Like for example, the snow you didn't because you had snow in America,
Oh
and then
yes,
of course
yes,
when you arrive here in Denmark, more
yes,
snow. That
yes.
would you didn't experience culture shock.
No, this is actually pretty mild of a
Uh-huh.
winter just for me. It's actually
Okay.
much
Oh,
colder where I went to
yeah.
college,
Okay.
and much yeah. This is actually warmer than New York in the winter.
Okay, okay. So it's way colder there. That's really interesting background, Lee. But when you lived in America, what made you decide to leave from US going to Denmark? How did you find a job here in Denmark? How is it? Can you please take us back to the very beginning? How did you arrive here in Denmark?
It's actually this time 15 years ago, or 16 years ago now. Uh, Actually, someone found me and offered me to join their team here in Denmark.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I probably spent a good amount of my post-college career kind of like trying to figure out what to do with my career, and uh, playing with the toys and my hobby had been kind of like that passion and following it. So I did those kind of jobs. I did retail. I did teaching robotics. I did Lego fan events, and I did
Mm-hmm.
side jobs for the company. And throughout all of that, I built a network of people who knew who I was, who knew what I was good at, um, who knew I was available to work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and it was really an email that was like, "Hey, I'm this person from Lego Education, and I know you from this person and this person. Would you be interested in joining our team for ABCD?"
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was it. And
Okay.
I did a visa process and made a long interview. I did an interview phase for about 30
Mm-hmm.
days,
Oh.
which was more really a work phase, and
Uh-huh.
part interview, and just trying to make sure if I liked the place, and
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was really an easy decision to
No.
to if your passion comes and finds you to go work for them. I
Mm-hmm.
think
Okay.
you come to Denmark, and it took however long it needed to get the visas and and all the paperwork and everything. Actually, at that point in time, I still had a Philippine passport, so I couldn't
Mm-hmm.
just come to Denmark.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had to get all the visas involved. I switched to my U.S. passport after arriving here, just because it made
Okay.
life a lot easier, just in terms of
Yeah.
like moving back and forth.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, after that, it was pretty easy to make that decision for me.
Mm-hmm.
It was like really interesting to kind of follow the passion
Yeah,
and
exactly.
then have it become my career.
Okay. So you mean you said they found
Yes.
your resume online, and then so that means even before that, you had a background education with the engineering stuff, or how is
Yeah.
it when you went to college? Yeah.
I had a mechanical and aerospace engineering degree
Mm,
from college. I spent some time teaching robotics and Lego programs while I was after graduation, and being part of fan events
mm-hmm,
and again doing odd jobs here and there,
mm-hmm,
after leaving the retail job
mm,
for 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 Lego, and then eventually coming back to it. So again, probably for most people is to building a network,
mm-hmm,
um, making friends in the right places and seeing who will take you
mm-hmm,
up on knowing your skills. And that's
mm-hmm.
probably my first thing to tell people would be to like make those good friends where you are, especially in your passions, and being in the
Yeah.
right place and time
Yeah.
as well. So
Exactly.
like I don't know exactly where it was that made sense. Maybe it was one of the competitions. Maybe it was
Mm-hmm.
an event here and there, and just being friendly and easy to work with,
Yeah.
on my side, and then making sure I stayed in contact with the people who helped me out, who gave me
Mm-hmm.
opportunities, and that's helped me throughout my entire career.
Of
Um,
course, of course. So your youth must have been in America since then. So you have
yeah,
had a lot of friends there when you were a teenager in the
yeah, yeah.
US. So was it difficult to leave them and then come here to Denmark without anybody?
It was definitely hard to come here without
Mm-hmm.
anyone. I mean,
Mm.
my none of my family knew anything about Europe.
No, no, not at
Uh,
all. Do you even know the Denmark? This place
I didn't
is
know
it's kind
Denmark.
of.
I mean, like I didn't know anything was possible.
Mm,
Mm. And having those friends, and but like everyone was really supportive, and they knew
mm-hmm,
that this was the thing that I should be doing.
mm-hmm.
And so I had a lot of support from the family and all my friends
Yeah.
to come here, and it was really great. And
That's most important, yeah, of course.
yeah,
And then and then it just 15 years have just gone by,
yeah.
and
Uh,
then you're
it's
here.
it's felt long. It feels long. It's been a long time,
Okay, yeah.
but it just goes by fast.
Mm-hmm.
I
Exactly.
mean,
And
we know that. I mean, the first 10 years without kids, and now with kids, it's a different, different now.
exactly. And then you met your wife here
Yeah,
in Denmark. That made the process, it became quite fast actually, because when you're living together with your wife and kids, then
Mhm.
it's nothing. Like
Yeah, yeah,
the years are nothing. It just
yeah,
flew by.
yeah. The,
That
the kids are growing fast, and
mm-hmm. That's so nice. So,
um,
would you now that you're working in Lego, would you call yourself an engineer, or what's your title there? Actually.
I'm a senior designer. I
Mm-hmm.
make models, so
Mm.
I have I don't know. Well, I don't know if they're still on the shelf, but I do have products
Mhm.
on the shelf. I've
Wow.
spent most of my career making robotics programs.
Mm.
So Lego Mindstorms, which are robotics, um,
Wow.
and competitions like First Lego League. Ultimately, stuff that's let me go travel the world. It introduced me to my wife. It wasn't for these
Mm-hmm.
competitions.
Wow.
Um, it's given me a lot of opportunities to do things like in and out of work.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so some of that stuff it's available in the Philippines. So it's we
Wow.
have Filipino robotics teams going on the world stage and competing,
Uh-huh.
and a lot of Filipino employees here
Okay.
in Denmark as
Do
well.
you have
So
Filipino colleagues there in
yes,
Lego yourself? Okay. Are they
yeah.
also American citizens or are
No,
they from
they're
Philippines?
they're direct from Philippines.
Oh,
If
wow.
not from like via one other place,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
but they are mostly from Philippines directly. So there's a lot of
Okay. Like,
guys.
mm-hmm.
There are a lot of guys here who made great names for themselves, and um, there's probably maybe 20 of us now.
Okay, 20 Filipinos
Yeah,
in Lego alone.
yeah, give or take. I mean,
Okay.
if not
That
like 20
that's
plus, including
mm-hmm.
people who are not working, or families,
Mm.
husbands, wives, and kids who are here. So
Wow,
that number is quite a good number.
that's so
Yeah,
good. Yeah, the number is so good because
yeah.
stereotypically there are not that much Filipinos who are in kind of like in your position right now. It's like what
Mm-hmm.
you heard around here, for example, like us, I came here to Denmark as an au pair. So that's not
Mm-hmm.
like you don't need to have any background education or something for being an au pair. But you came from the Philippines, or you together with your colleagues and you from the US and them from the Philippines came directly here to Europe for work and
Mm-hmm.
with that kind of job. It's like it's what we call here skilled workers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. That's actually really interesting. There's not too much of you here, right? How is it working together with the Danish colleagues? Is it totally different from Americans, or is it almost the same?
My company is very international,
Mm-hmm.
so it's very unique in that sense here. But just in terms of the work culture, I think Danish culture, just the whole idea of like having work life balance
Mm-hmm.
and not letting work take over the work you do. I think that's the major difference
Mm-hmm.
I've seen, not just from the U.S. but like all over the world,
Mm-hmm.
especially U.S. and Philippines.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I mean, if you think about a job like the one I have, it could easily be you're constantly working in your mind,
Yeah.
and it could be a job with. I mean, we do have harsh deadlines, but
Mm-hmm.
they never like push you that kind of hard to like
Mm-hmm.
stay every night or something like that.
No.
Uh, and I think where I come from in New York is very much like that. Big city life is really,
Mm-hmm.
they push you to work hard, work to,
Mm-hmm.
you know, until you can't work anymore.
Exactly.
Where here is like it's really important that
Mm-hmm.
I found like the most comfort here that you work in a bigger company like this. They let you
Mm-hmm.
do that, and I found it to be a Danish thing. It's
Mm-hmm.
not always there. I mean, I've always seen exceptions to the rules. I've seen au pair families, especially I've seen both from au pair families where they put you to work all day, if not,
Mm.
uh, and I've seen the other side where like they get the right balance from
Yeah.
and then those are the happiest au pairs that I've
Yeah.
seen. They're like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
I work 8 to 4 every day, and then I'm free, and then
Mm-hmm.
I can do whatever I want. Wow.
Yeah. Just
And
like
that's,
the,
I see that typical
mm.
work.
Of course, that's nice to hear that the
Yeah,
work life balance is really number one in
yeah.
Denmark. Well,
Hmm.
that's why they call the happiest country in the world, right?
Right.
Because yeah, us internationals and even the Danes, they love to stay here because of that work life balance. But aside from that, now we're talking about the positive thing. But do you ever experience some challenge or some struggles? Of course, there's always other side of the story in this. Do you experience that sometimes? What are those?
I mean,
Mm.
it's expensive to live here.
Okay, of course,
Yeah,
that's not a question.
I have a
uh,
language barrier,
uh,
you know, in all
mm-hmm,
parts of my life, right? So I
mm-hmm,
think I've always hit that, so I've gotten used to it.
mm-hmm,
Uh, and just kind of navigating life in Europe,
mm-hmm.
if you don't know what's comfortable. I mean, now my challenge is owning a home, and I've never done that
Mm.
before. So
Okay.
I'm like feeding 2 kids and a dog. I've never done that before. So
Mm-mm. Okay.
it's a whole like now navigating family life, and um,
Mm-hmm. So
that's
you,
those are the challenges
yeah, you
that we
would just
have.
actually say it's mostly personal struggles,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
There's no job struggles, no work struggles. You really
I
love
mean,
what you do.
I love what I do. Yeah, I
Mm,
mean, work's gonna be work. There's
mm-mm.
always there's gonna be challenges there. There's
Of
gonna be
course, yeah.
scheduling. There's gonna be
Mm-hmm.
there are gonna be times when you need to work hard, work more than normal. But
Mm-hmm.
um, I
Mm-hmm.
think there's always a check and balance there
Mm-hmm.
if it's possible to like, hey,
Mm-hmm.
take care. I mean, we have to deal with visas
Yeah, of
uh,
course. I know.
and and the residencies, and I it's okay.
Okay.
I'm surprised
Sorry
mine
that
has to.
that's my dog is crazy. Yeah.
You're just navigating life, I think, in
Mm,
a foreign country. I
okay.
mean,
Yeah.
even though I'm American, I still
Mm-hmm.
see, the differences in
Mm-hmm.
like how people treat you, if
Yeah.
you're from somewhere else,
Yeah.
and it's rare, but I think, you always kind of feel that.
Mm,
Um, we always feel that behind you when you're in a different place, and you're not from
mm.
there, and you don't speak the language,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
and navigating all of that, I think will
Mm.
always be a challenge to
Mm-hmm.
our lives as foreigners here.
Yeah, exactly. I know because I understand everything. I could feel you actually.
Hmm.
But I could hear from your voice, Lee, that you are very very introvert. Are you? You are such an introvert person.
I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, we're I've been sick for the last two
Oh,
weeks also,
okay, but
so
I'm really
nor
thankful that
relax.
you gave me the time to
Yes,
introduce your life and your work here in
yeah,
our with our listeners, especially the Filipinos who are
yeah,
everywhere in the world, who are kind of who wanted to have a better life here
yeah,
in Europe, right? That like what you did to your family, you took everything like 360
yeah,
change from somewhere else and then coming here
yeah.
to Denmark. But before we end, Lee, it's already almost 30 minutes.
That's
I
okay.
only promised you half an hour. But
Yeah.
Lee, now what I've said earlier that you are an introvert person, just like with the other people who is introvert like you. Do you think that Denmark is for everyone?
Definitely not. I think, there's definitely a culture here
Mm,
that's gonna be not for everyone, for sure. I think there's just an isolation. The country's as
mm-hmm,
small as this one, even though I've always thought of it as an illusion, where
mm.
um where living in a small city like Billund is like, oh, it's only 6,000 people. There's more people in the MRT on any given day, right? Uh,
Yeah.
there's more people in the mall
In the
in
Philippines, yeah.
SM in
Yeah, true.
any given 5 minutes than who live in the town or village.
Mm-hmm.
But we had an airport there, and
Mm,
what's stopping you from going A, B, C, D?
true.
I mean, other than money, but like if you're making an okay salary here, at the time of Ryanair, it was 200 kroner to fly to London. I
Yeah,
mean, it was really,
no more.
I
Yeah.
mean, maybe now it's 400 kroner with Norwegian, but
Yeah.
it's it's really up to the person to
Mm,
could go out there and live their life.
mm-hmm.
Even I'm an introverted. I'm I like people. I mean, I like to be around a lot of people, and
Mm-hmm.
doesn't mean I need to speak to them the way
Mm,
I need to where I get my energy from.
mm-hmm.
Um, but it's really, I think, up to the person. Like,
Okay.
I got lucky to be part of a company that's very inclusive, at least where I've been in a company.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Not everyone's had the same experience. You
Mm-hmm.
know,
Exactly.
it's very easy to feel like left out of something uh, by the locals, and we do the same thing from the Philippines. You
True.
go. I mean, I've experienced it. Being American born and raised, and then suddenly I
Mm-hmm.
don't speak Tagalog, and then okay, I'm not part of that.
Mm-hmm.
So I felt it from you know.
Okay.
Suddenly you're not Filipino, But then if you go do something good, oh, he's Filipino,
Yeah.
and
Raise our
it's
flag.
like raise your flag, and then
Pinoy
and then you go
tayo.
and then
Yeah.
I go and then you go and you talk to
Ah,
people speak
yeah.
Tagalog, and then like, oh, you're not one of us anymore. So you can feel that in every
Mm-hmm.
state here, and then if you're in a country where you also don't look like everyone, so it's like, okay,
Yeah.
hi, it's and we try our best to assimilate, to get good at the
Okay.
language, to be friendly and welcoming
Mm-hmm.
to people. And to the Danes, they're very welcoming, actually.
Mm-hmm.
More than you think. I think especially individually, my neighbors are so welcoming here,
Mm.
and um, but it is definitely something you can feel being part of this.
Okay. So that means if, for example, there's one person, one international who's listening to this podcast, what would you say, what should be their mindset be to survive in a place like this?
Have an open mind, enjoy the opportunity. If you get a chance to come here, like, make the best with what you can do. I mean, it's not going to be easy. I
Mm.
think just kind of don't come here thinking
That-
thinking life will be easy for you.
uh-huh.
Once you've made it out of where you
Mm-hmm.
are, or like this is the change.
Yeah.
Um, it's going to be a challenge. It's going to be also the
Mm-hmm.
most fun you're going to have. I think, make friends, make networks,
Mm-hmm.
find your people. Can you imagine I found entire communities of Filipinos like all over Denmark.
Yeah.
Looking for people who I can identify with, right? So it's like,
We're everywhere
we're
anyway.
everywhere. I'm in Grinstead. There's
Yeah.
probably 50, 60 Filipinos here.
Yeah. Find a church and
Find
then
a
then there's
church.
Filipino there. Yeah.
Find a
Exactly.
supermarket.
Find a supermarket or find
uh,
somewhere where there's karaoke. There's Filipino there.
yeah, there's like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
my
Okay.
Dalply more was Filipina, and
Mm.
and how lucky
Yeah.
can that be right here?
Yeah, exactly. That's nice. That's nice to
And
hear, Lee.
I'm
Mm-hmm.
like Esbjerg. I was
Mm.
dancing in Esbjerg for these
True.
guys. I have friends. I
Yeah.
had I had friends at the embassy before the changeover
Mm-hmm.
with the latest ambassador. So I hope I can keep in touch with those guys. And then um, there's really a wonderful network of people here. So
Nice.
for definitely for the Filipinos and internationals, like, especially where we are, where I am, there's probably
Mm-hmm.
someone from your country here,
Yeah, for
and,
sure.
and like um, you're not alone, and you're gonna be fine.
Okay, that's really tough, strong words from you, Lee.
Yeah.
Well, the last thing I would like to ask you before we close, before we go, from if someone from the Philippines, like you, as an engineer or as a
Hmm.
designer, senior designer now in go abroad, what would be your advice on before coming here from where you at now?
Hmm.
To them, especially to the Filipinos who maybe or from the US or from the Philippines, what would be your advice for them before coming here? What are they going to expect, and what should you give them to some takeaways they could have from an experienced person like you?
Yeah. Um, One, there's people here for you. There's network. There's your people. There's kababayan here for you. Like
Mm-hmm.
there's really people here that I think are more than willing to help. And there are Filipino stores, and you can find rice. And uh, I think that's important. As much
Yeah.
as like the culture shock is going to be a big deal with work and the company, and
Mm-hmm.
make friends with where you are. You
Mm-hmm.
know, depending on what company you're in, the language is going to be a big deal. Learn enough to get by, to understand the people who are talking to you, and
Mm-hmm.
maybe you'll never get fluent,
Mm-hmm.
but kind of understand them, like understand where they're coming from. You know,
Yeah. And how
uh,
about them with their families? Do you advise that they should work hard to get their family going here, or just leave them, or how is it?
um, I'm a big proponent of like I want to keep my family with me, so that's like
Mm,
it works for me to do
mm-hmm.
so, and I've seen others with different situations, so I
Of
couldn't.
course.
It's hard to say what's right for people. Like,
Mm,
is it better to send money home and you
mm,
know and then have them go to school with that money,
mm-hmm.
and like you can pay for two rents and things like that, or
Mm-hmm.
keep your family here with you, and for me, I like to have my family near. Like, it's also easy to do the other thing, but I don't think I personally could. Um, I think we grew up in a culture where it feels okay to do it. It's like we've normalized it. It's like I
Mm.
have a book, a
Mm.
Tagalog book for my kids about balikbayan box, and
Okay.
the kids are feeling happy every time the box comes home
Oh,
from the dad, and then
yeah.
but like one day he comes home and like no more sending boxes, and like he didn't, something happened to this job. So it was like a really kind of a sad story, but
Mm.
it's to me that kind of like normalization of
Well,
like
did you write that book?
I did
Or
not
what?
write it. It was
Oh, okay.
I don't
You
remember
just
the
have a book.
I collect Tagalog books, children's
Okay, so
books
you
for my
learn a little
kids.
bit
So
Tagalog from there.
yeah, again, it's for like
Oh.
whether I get it or not, it's for my kids,
Mm-hmm.
right? So there's a lot of like, there's a lot of sending home.
Mm,
It
of
can
course.
work, I think we're totally okay as a
Mm-hmm.
people to do that. But for me, keep your family with you. I mean, there's nothing, there's no uh there's no replacement for like being there when something happens. Like
Mm-hmm.
you know, my
Lovely.
my
Lovely.
kids are just growing up so fast.
Yeah, everything's so fast. Even
This
the
and no
dog grows
matter
so
no
fast.
no matter how hard it is, I mean, it's like I couldn't do anything else.
Hmm.
And I think my mom put that into me. Like, she's like, I'd rather have my kids with me than not with me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's really
So
really
it's
tough
yeah,
decision to make for some people.
yeah,
But
yeah.
of course, if you have the opportunity, why not,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
Oh my God. That's really, really nice that you open up and all your insights and all your perspective as a worker here in Denmark. especially in a very big company like Lego,
Yeah,
right,
yeah,
Lee? Well, oh my God, that's already it. That's it's.
yeah.
I haven't even asked you how did you meet your wife, right? How? Oh my God, that's totally already time flew, like we said
Yeah,
earlier.
yeah, yeah.
But Lee, before we close, can you, if somebody from the Philippines or somebody from international who wanted to ask you some questions, some advices, or just curious about what you're doing here in Denmark, can they contact you, or where can they
Um,
find you?
just find me on Facebook. If you Google me, it's you'll find something.
Your
Actually,
name, Lee
uh,
Magpili.
Lee McBealy. LinkedIn is a really good place to find me, like professional contacts.
Okay,
Um, that's a really good place. So
okay.
I have probably more than I'd like about me on the internet,
Mm-hmm.
um, interviews and things like that. So
Okay.
I could never watch them myself.
You're so popular. Oh my God.
You'll
Well,
if you can find me dancing tinikling, you've done some
dancing
research.
tinikling. That would be so funny.
It's there, I'm sure.
Okay.
Um,
All right. Thank you so much for your
Thank you
time
so much.
today, Lee. I'm really hoping there will be part two where you
Yeah,
and your wife, who is a Filipina, because
yes,
my podcast is actually about Filipina life abroad, but
yes,
that's not close to only Filipinas. And you are
yes.
actually the very first man whom I interviewed because
Wow.
everyone is Filipina. And I'm really just interested about your life. How is your work, and how is it for being a Filipino who is
Mm,
or who's not born yeah, who's born in Philippines but another culture, and then coming
mm.
back here in another culture again. So it's quite totally multicultural Filipino
Yeah, yeah,
like you. And like with this, I'm really
yeah.
proud
We're
where all of us Filipinos are going higher in the world now, being
yeah.
known for competitions and stuff like that, and you
That's
are
very
one
good.
of them. And I'm really thankful for your time, Lee. But
Thanks.
yeah, thank you so much for your time, and I would just say goodbye to the listeners, and I'll get back to you in a little
All
bit.
right. Thank
Thank you
you.
so much for your time, Lee,
Thank
and have a
you.
nice day.
You
Bye
too. Bye
bye.
bye.
Bye. Well, thank you so much, Lee, for your openness and your insight. And we hope to everyone listening that this conversation gave you clarity and perspective if you're planning to work and move abroad. Well, thank you so much for listening. I hope you were able to learn something, take away a valuable lesson, or at the very least, relate to Lee's story. So if you want to get in touch with me, you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, or subscribe to our YouTube channel. And until next time, have a nice day. Bye!